Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hi there, welcome back.
So, guys, just going to try to give you as quick an update as possible with all the craziness going on. We have Verizon confirming widespread outage affecting users across the U.S. I went and looked at Down Detector and see that AT&T is having issues, T-Mobile is having issues, U.S. Cellular. It looks like quite a few communications devices companies are having issues at the moment. You know, not to be surprised. The notification came to us from our own family members over towards the West Coast saying their phones are showing SOS.
Way over on the West Coast, and their phones are showing SOS, and it's only a few. It seems to be affecting iPhone.
Okay, so, as always, we want to thank you guys for your support over on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Couldn't do it without you there. Time running out. U.S. port strike could begin tomorrow. This is something that can impact the country at a time when the country's having a lot of issues just because of the storm, of which, there is the potential for more hurricanes coming in, as well as bizarre temperature swings. You have meteorologists talking about patterns that are setting in that are going to bring us some record heat waves over in the west, the far west. But when you look to the northern tier states, it's setting up for winter. So, this is just craziness that's hitting us all at once. This port strike, as you can see here, everywhere from Boston down to New Orleans and Houston, this can absolutely unleash the apocalypse. That's a new word there. Apocalypse. Okay. Honestly, we've been getting a lot of info coming in from everywhere, and it's a little overwhelming at times, and I understand that. Yet again, we want to let you guys know what we know while we know it and while we're able to, talk to you about it. So again, already you have main thoroughfares that are experiencing issues, I-20, I-40, and then you're going to have ports to be impacted. Of course, please do send your prayers to everybody in the Asheville area and everybody down in Florida too, which seems to be doing better with the hurricane damage than Asheville area, which just the information coming out of there is getting worse by the moment. So, this is going to impact our ability to have goods. I hope everybody is as stocked up as you could be. Make sure that you have ways of purifying water, food stores. Everybody should be also concerned with alternative sources of power. Do you have a generator? Do you have gasoline or propane for the generators? And then we have this toxic cloud from that biolab explosion. It's settling over South Gwinnett in Atlanta. Residents are reporting it smells like chlorine and the birds are dying. That's really disconcerting. Even more disconcerting is that 90,000 residents in Rockdale County have been told to indefinitely shelter in place. 20 miles away, people are smelling chlorine in the air. This is exactly the same scenario going on that happened before up in Pennsylvania. All just coincidences? No. I think you would have to be very, very ill-informed to think these are all just coincidences. Iran has told mediators that it plans on responding militarily with the largest response in history, including guided missiles towards the center of Israel, even if it leads to all-out war. And here you see multiple sources are reporting this. Israel is meeting with Saudi Arabia and the U.S. And, of course, there's more troops on the way over there as we're preparing to see things go to a different level. As you can see here, preparing for the possibility of an Iranian attack, which Iran, more often than not, hasn't attacked with even close to the ferocity that Israel has. And you could see, that this is exactly what it says in the Bible. I will put my hooks in their jaw and pull them out. going to manifest that WW3 any way they possibly can. Governor DeSantis says Florida has its state handled, and the federal government needs to focus on saving lives in North Carolina. Florida sent its own search and rescue deployment to North Carolina, but the federal government has far more assets to save lives. How is one state doing more to help North Carolina than the entire federal government? That's a good question, especially the state where, it was the one that was impacted with the hurricane actually landing. It's because, obviously, the federal government doesn't give a, you fill in the blank.
No, and they have not. And I mean, this is just so much proof that they do not work for the people. They're just, flipping their finger at the people, and they know that they can control the people. And that's just really not fair. I want to be very, very careful with my words, because we never advocate violence, ever, ever, ever. But we can use our energy and our power and that thing called money, which is energy, to be very, very careful where we place every single dollar. And there's ways to go within the system and not allow the system to benefit the way they have set themselves up. There's got to be ways. There's financial wizards out there who can understand and talk to the common person where is best to place your money here and there, so it's not ending up in the hands of, out of the country. Really, we need to figure out something.
Absolutely. When you see people talking about this being 100 times worse than Katrina, and I asked Cindy about this, and she could remote view the area. That is something that's not hard for her, and she does see this. This is the reality, that there are so many that you really can't keep track of it at this point. This one's estimating the death toll from Katrina was about 1,600. That, again, they tell us. I think it was way higher than that. I think, again, the numbers never really tell the story. And here you have, I'm not sure why that did that, but there we go. Okay. It's screwing up on me there. Okay. You have one side of the country with the flooding, and then you have 10 days. The next 10 days are going to crush the Southwest with widespread highs 100 degrees to 115. So a big heat wave coming to the Southwest. And yet the signs are that it's going to be getting very cold, unusually cold, in much of the rest of the country towards the central and northern tier. And then we also have near the coast of Alaska a Russian Su-35 fighter performing a dangerous maneuver next to a U.S. Air Force fighter, almost rammed it. So, again, this could basically just start at any point in time. It does look like the signs are there that we are heading into a much deeper period of trials and tribulations than we've seen even since the beginning of the first eclipse back in 2017. It does feel like things are going to be a little bit bumpy. This is why never leave any seal behind. No, nobody's going to save us but us. So again, we have to pull out our hands for each other, help each other, because you're not going to get help from any of the governments of the planet.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.